His arms used to be my favorite place to hide from the world. But tonight, those same arms held someone else. I stood by the window of our once warm home, watching him drive away into the night, leaving nothing behind but the faint scent of his cologne and the echo of our promises. The silence that followed was louder than any argument we ever had. It's funny how comfort feels eternal when you're in it, but disappears the moment truth knocks on your door. And mine did, brutally. Before I take you deeper into this story, before I let you peek into the parts of me that once glowed and now bleed, please, if you're new here, hit subscribe, like this video, and turn on your notifications. Because what you're about to hear is my confession. My truth. A story that might sound like yours, or someone you once loved. It all started last summer in Atlanta. The heat was unkind, but his charm was worse, dangerously tempting. He wasn't my husband. But he was everything my husband stopped being. His name was Ethan, a man with hands that spoke more than words, and a voice that could make my knees surrender. We met at a charity event, one my husband couldn't attend because, as usual, work came first. I wasn't looking for trouble. But trouble found me, in the form of a man who looked at me like I was a melody he wanted to memorize. He said, "You look lonely for a woman dressed so beautifully." I smiled, pretending not to care. But I did. Because no one had noticed me in years. That night, his laughter wrapped around me like a sin. We danced, slowly, as if our bodies were learning the same secret rhythm. And when his palm brushed my lower back, I felt something inside me awaken, something I thought had died long ago. When I returned home, my husband was asleep. Laptop open. TV still playing. Dinner cold. I stared at him and realized, I wasn't angry anymore. Just, empty. Ethan's words replayed in my head, echoing like a whisper against my guilt. Sometimes comfort keeps you prisoner, baby. Maybe it's time to escape. That night, I didn't sleep. I just lay awake wondering if maybe he was right. Maybe I wasn't happy, just used to being unhappy. If you're still here listening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because this story isn't about lust alone, it's about what happens when comfort turns to sorrow, and sorrow demands to be heard. By the time Ethan and I met again, I had already crossed a line I swore I never would. He didn't seduce me, I allowed it. And once I tasted the escape he offered, there was no going back. But every pleasure has its price. And I paid mine, heavily. I used to believe that comfort came wrapped in warmth, a familiar touch, a soft tone, or the kind of silence that doesn't make you question your worth. But after he left, I learned that comfort could also be the cruelest illusion, a quiet poison that lingers in your veins long after love has walked away. It's been months since he packed his calm into a suitcase, leaving my world louder than it ever was. The house hasn't changed much, but it feels hollow. The couch still remembers his weight. The air still carries traces of his cologne. And the bed. God, the bed remembers everything. I told myself I was fine. That I could fix the void with late-night music, muted lights, and the comfort of my own touch, that I didn't need him. But nights have a way of telling the truth we avoid in daylight. They whisper. They taunt. They remind. Sometimes, I still hear him, that half-sleep murmur of, "You're mine," that used to melt me into surrender. Now it just burns. Because he said those words with the same lips that kissed me goodbye. Soft music tone, like a YouTube voiceover moment. Broken heart, if you've ever loved someone who became your sorrow, I whisper to my listeners, hit that subscribe button, maybe we'll heal together. Then I exhale, steadying my voice before continuing. Because what I'm about to say next, isn't for pity. It's confession. He didn't leave for another woman. He left because love, to him, was exhausting. And maybe he wasn't wrong, I wanted too much. Too much passion. Too much reassurance. Too much him. The truth is, I used to measure love by the way he looked at me when I was vulnerable. By the way his hands framed my face as if the world could end and he'd still want one last kiss. But somewhere between those long nights and broken mornings, I became heavy. And he wanted lightness. So he left, taking the comfort he once gave, and leaving me the ache that never sleeps. Now, my days feel like borrowed sunlight. My nights, a museum of moments that play on repeat. Every laughter we shared echoes in my head until it turns into a cry. And yet, there's something about sorrow. It doesn't just break you, it shapes you. It teaches you how to live without the heartbeat you once matched. Soft sigh. So here I am, anonymous, maybe nameless, but not voiceless. Because if my pain can speak, maybe it can heal someone else. Stay with me. I don't know when his comfort stopped being a cure, and started becoming my craving. Maybe it was the first night I fell asleep on his chest, listening to the rhythm of his heartbeat like a lullaby I never knew I needed. Or maybe, it was the way he always looked at me, like I was a wound he wanted to heal but couldn't resist reopening. That evening, the city was painted in a dim shade of orange. The air smelled of rain and regret. I remember sitting by the window, watching him fix the collar of his shirt before heading out to meet his wife. Yes, his wife. The word hung heavy in the air like unspoken thunder. He turned to me, eyes soft but distant. "Don't wait up," he said. I nodded, pretending not to care. But the truth was, I did. I waited. Every night. For a man who never truly belonged to me. If you're still watching this, I'd whisper to my imaginary audience, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because maybe, just maybe, you've waited for someone who was never yours too. Days turned into nights, and nights blurred into longing. Every time he came over, he'd bring the warmth I'd been missing, but also the guilt I couldn't wash off. He'd kiss me like he was desperate to remember me, then leave as if he was desperate to forget. One night, I asked him, "Do you ever feel bad?" He smiled faintly. Bad? No. Only empty when I'm not here. That's when I knew, it wasn't love anymore. It was addiction. The kind that numbs your pain until you start missing the pain itself. He started calling less. The texts became shorter. The warmth in his voice began to fade. I'd check my phone more often than I'd breathe. Every silence between us felt like punishment for something I didn't do. And then, one evening, he didn't show up at all. No text. No call. No excuse. Just absence, loud, painful, and final. I sat on the edge of the bed, clutching his forgotten watch, the scent of his cologne still clinging to the sheets. That was when it hit me, comfort can kill. Not with knives or fire, but with slow withdrawal. If you've ever been addicted to someone's presence, their voice, their touch, their promises, you'll understand this ache. It's the quiet kind that hides behind smiles and phone screens. The kind that turns comfort into a curse. Don't forget to hit the like button, I whisper through my tears, because if you've ever mistaken comfort for love, then you already know how it burns. The night he left, the city felt like it was mourning with me. The drizzle that hit the window wasn't just rain, it was every unshed tear that I swallowed for the sake of pride. I remember how he stood there, his duffel bag on the floor, shoulders trembling under that faded denim jacket I bought him. I couldn't speak, my lips quivered from words I no longer believed in. He didn't shout. He didn't even explain. He just stared, long enough for me to feel the quiet kind of heartbreak that doesn't scream, only sinks deeper until it bruises the soul. "I can't keep doing this," he said softly. "I gave you comfort, but you crave something else now." That something else, he meant the thrill. The risk. The wrong kind of love that tasted too much like danger and not enough like home. And he was right. Because when I met Eli, his best friend, the one with the midnight laugh and eyes that burned like unspoken desire, I knew I had already traded heaven for a few stolen moments of fire. I wasn't proud of it. I was addicted to it. And addiction never ends with healing, only withdrawal. That night, after he walked away, I lay on the cold side of the bed, inhaling what was left of his scent on the pillow. Lavender. Regret. Memories that refused to fade. the irony? I had chosen Eli's touch, yet it was his silence that haunted me. His absence filled every room, every cup of coffee, every empty morning. I scrolled through my phone, tempted to call, to text, but what could I say? Come back. I didn't mean to crave him. No text could erase the sight of my betrayal. Still, part of me hoped he would forgive me. Part of me wanted him to hurt me, just so I could feel him again. Megaphone, if you're still here watching this, please, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and share this story, because someone out there needs to hear that even the ones who give us comfort can become our deepest sorrow. A week later, I met him again, by accident, at the small bookstore near 8th Street. He looked thinner, colder. But his eyes, they still recognized me. Hi, I whispered. He just nodded, placed the book on the counter, and walked past me like a ghost. And in that moment, I realized. He didn't take my pain with him when he left. He left it with me, as inheritance. That's what he bequeathed. Not comfort. Not love. But a sorrow that would stay, long after his touch faded. I never thought silence could be so loud. The day he left, the air itself seemed to mourn. The soft hums that used to fill my kitchen, the laughter that once hid our guilt, and the whisper of his voice calling my name, gone. All that remained was the echo of my betrayal and the ghost of what we used to be. I still remember that morning. The sunlight spilled across his bare chest as he buttoned his shirt, slowly, almost painfully, as if every press of fabric against his skin was a goodbye he couldn't voice. I stood behind him, wearing only his white shirt, the scent of last night still trapped between the folds. He didn't look at me. Not even once. And that hurt more than his leaving. You made me believe again, he finally said, his voice low and cracked, and that's exactly why I have to walk away. I wanted to say something, anything, to stop him. But my throat locked. Because deep down, I knew he was right. What we built wasn't love, it was survival disguised as passion. We both used each other to fill the holes our marriages left behind. And now, we were just two broken people trying to escape different prisons, by building one of our own. He kissed my forehead, a goodbye without words. Then he walked out. No dramatic slam of the door, no tears on his part. Just the sound of his shoes fading down the hall, and my heart quietly collapsing behind him. I tried to stay strong. I tried to bury the ache beneath my smile, beneath the facade of a perfect wife. But every night, I found myself reaching for the empty side of my bed, the one that still smelled faintly of his cologne. Sometimes, I still replay the way he looked at me the first time he touched my face, like he had found something he didn't know he was searching for. And the last time, like he had lost it forever. That's the irony of forbidden love, it burns brighter than anything else, but it never lasts. It devours, consumes, then leaves ashes that taste like regret. Broken heart, hey, if you're still listening. Don't forget to like this story, share it, and subscribe for more true tales of passion, betrayal, and everything that happens when love crosses dangerous lines. Because sometimes, the stories we hide are the ones that make us human. I sometimes wonder where he is now. Whether he ever thinks about me the way I still think about him. Whether he still drinks his coffee the same way, black, no sugar. And if he still wears that wristwatch I gave him on his birthday, engraved with words that now feel like a curse. For the moments we'll never tell. Now, I live with the quiet ache of memory, an ache I've learned to carry like a second skin. He parted with comfort, but he left me with sorrow. A sorrow that keeps him alive inside me. And that's the cruel beauty of it all. Sometimes, the people who hurt us the most, are the ones we'd still choose, if given the chance again. I still remember the warmth of his touch, the way his eyes, even when silent, could rewrite every ache I tried to hide. He came into my life like comfort, soft, patient, dangerous. And when he left, he didn't just walk away, he took the rhythm of my laughter with him. Now every time the rain falls, it sounds like his goodbye. Every whisper of the wind feels like his apology that never came. I thought I could move on, that I could outgrow the memory of him, but the truth is, some people don't leave scars, they leave echoes, echoes that keep calling your name when the world goes quiet. He parted with comfort, but bequeathed me with sorrow so deep, I sometimes find solace in it. Because that sorrow, it reminds me I once felt something real. Something worth breaking for. So if you've ever loved and lost, if you've ever kissed someone and tasted forever only to wake up alone, hit that subscribe button, share this story, and let's heal together in the shadows of what love leaves behind. Because sometimes, the greatest comfort comes from knowing you're not the only one still haunted by a love that never truly ended.